Are you looking to master the skill of speed sketching? Hello, my name is Kristina Moyer. In today's video, we're going to talk about why speed sketching is valuable to artists and creatives. We're going to go through some exercises on how to do it, some tips and tricks, and that's it. Speed sketching is a skill that will help boost your creativity, improve efficiency, and help you capture ideas on the fly. This is not just for those who want to improve their drawing skills. I know a lot of creative types of careers that involve sketching, that you kind of need to know a little bit about how to sketch. A couple years back, I had a student who was applying for an interior design program. They didn't have a lot of sketching experience, and so they approached me to give them one-on-one lessons on how to improve their drawing speed and accuracy. So I'm going to share some of my tips and lessons that I've given to this student with you today. So make sure you have your pencil, your sketchbook, whatever recycled paper, just paper, something to draw on, pencil, and that's all you need to follow along. You don't even need an eraser, and I'm not even going to use one. I'm not even going to suggest it because I want you to focus on quickly capturing what you see, either on paper from a picture or in your surroundings. So we're going to try different methods. I'm going to give you different tips and tricks so that you can elevate your skills. And whether you're trying to get into a program or you just want to learn this for your own skill set, for your own work that you're creating, maybe you're even doing paintings and you want to be able to sketch the scene quickly before you get into the painting. You don't want to spend hours on that. So let's get right into it. Before we jump into the tips and the exercises that you can do, I want to give you some ideas as to why this is a valuable practice. First up, efficiency. If you can quickly sketch the main portions of a drawing or whatever you're looking at, then you can spend the time in the details. Sketching out things quickly will allow you to get into those details more quickly, so you're not spending so much time just getting started. So it gets you right into the details more quickly. Number 2, practice and muscle memory. When you work on improving your speed with sketching, you're also going to be practicing. If you do this daily, if you do it frequently, you're going to improve your muscle memory. So you're going to be able to hone those artistic reflexes, like make them in top shape so that you can, oh yeah, I can do this shape really quick. Your mind already knows that, your body already knows that, and it just goes right into like an automatic moment, which is a great place to be. Number 3. Okay, have you ever played a video game? Okay, hopefully you have, or know about this. But your characters will often have like little energy levels. And as you do activities and things, your energy drains and you can watch it drain. Now, we can't see our own energy levels like that. It'd be kind of interesting if you could. But with speed drawing, when you can like get this into your practice, then you can serve your energy. So number 3 is energy conservation. Put the energy in where it matters. Once you start getting into the detailing and all of that, like obviously sketching things out in the beginning is important, but honing in those details, that's where you're going to need most of your energy, most of your brain mentality. And so let's not use up all of our energy in the first bit of the sketch. Another valuable asset of speed sketching, number 4, simplification. If you know how to speed sketch, you can quickly capture what you need to, and all the skills I'm going to show you are going to help you do that so that you have a simplified version that your mind can like go back to and just take down the most important aspects for when you're first capturing things. Who doesn't want to keep it simple anyways? We need more simple. We need to simplify. That's what I think. Okay, we're going to start with a simple warm-up here, just drawing some different shapes. So you have your sketchbook or a piece of paper or something to draw on in front of you. Just draw some shapes. Let's warm it up. Let's draw a circle. How many different ways can you draw a circle? Let's see. So we have just like the regular circle. We have different types of circles. Just go for it. Circle, 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 round-like shapes. Then we have square-like shapes, squares and rectangles, and all kinds of square-like shapes, four-sided type of shapes. You can look around you too for inspiration because there are shapes all around us. Then let's try some triangles. So these are just very quick. Just draw a triangle, draw different types of triangles. Just go. How many triangles can you draw? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Just keep it simple. Don't worry about perfection. Do not use your eraser right now. We're just warming up. I don't care how perfect it looks. Just draw some shapes. Okay, that's our warm-up. That's just keeping it simple. If you feel like you want to practice a little bit more, go ahead and practice a little more. Let's get into some speed sketching techniques. I have 10 tips and techniques that will help improve your speed drawing skills. So as you go about your day, if you're practicing this on a daily basis, I want you to imagine things like maybe just take a few minutes each day or before you start sketching to look at whatever you're going to sketch and see all the shapes. If you could see the world in shapes, what would it look like? So just imagining each thing, like right now I'm looking at curtains and they look like long, tall pillars. Don't worry about all the detailing. Don't worry about the shadows and all of that. Just try to simplify it in your mind as much as you can. And that's going to be your first little tip, technique to practice to improve your speed skills. Number 2 is move your whole arm. If you get yourself stuck with just moving your wrist, this is all you can do. If you can move your whole arm, you have so many more options. This keeps you confined and stuck, and your wrist will get to parts where it's like hard to, make a certain shape. Whereas if I go like this and I move my whole arm, I can make like a round shape. Like do this with me right now. Take your arm and hand, and you can even have a pencil in, where's my pencil? Oh. You can even have a pencil in hand to kind of draw in the air. And I want you to try and draw with your hand without moving your arm, just like with your wrist. And you can draw on paper if you want, or just in the air. And keep drawing some circles, some squares. I'm already feeling it right here. I don't know about you. I mean, I do have an injured wrist from the past, but I don't want to tire out that easily. Now, if I use my whole arm, use your whole arm and start drawing little circles and other shapes just in the air. You can draw bigger. You can imagine how using my whole arm is going to help me cover things faster than this. It's tight, it's restrictive, and you're not gonna get as quick of a motion. So use your whole arm. Is this a sport? I don't know if it's a sport, but maybe it could be. Speed drawing. The next Olympics. See you there. Okay, no, not that funny. But I make myself laugh, and that counts for something. It does. Okay, on to our next tip and practice, and that is practicing gesture drawing. Gesture drawing is capturing the movement of something very quickly. So you might have a person standing in front of you. What if they're dancing and you have to capture movement really quickly? Well, you're not going to be sitting there drawing their eyelashes and drawing their hairs and, working on like the nose line and stuff like that. You're going to quickly capture the tilt of their head, where their arms are placed, maybe a leg is out, what angle things are at. So what I want you to do right now, if you have a friend with you, this is super helpful. If not, you can watch a video, maybe like a TikTok of someone dancing or something like that, or you can just have something there in front of you. If you have a person, grab them and be like, hey, you, I'm pulling you over, pose for me. And just have them stand, and every like 10 seconds, or you can set whatever time you want, have them change poses. And you have to quickly capture whatever you can in that moment. Again, you're not going to go into the details of, oh, I see like a logo on your shirt, or oh, I see like your fingernails or even the fingers. No, you're gonna draw quick lines like this and see how fast you can capture it. You can try a 10-minute, you can try a 5-minute. I want you to try for like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds. What can you capture in 5 seconds? Try it right now. So the gestures, we're trying to capture the essence of movement when it comes to gesture drawing. Number 4, and this one I have to say I'm not good at because I'm really indecisive, but this is one to practice. And that is drawing from your imagination. And I want you to do it quickly. Don't think about it. Don't worry about the outcome. Don't worry about, oh, well, should I draw it like this or like that? Just start drawing. Picture something quickly in your mind and just start going with it. Roll with it. It doesn't have to be a real thing. Start going. I'm right now picturing some kind of weird fairy house. Not really sure why, like in the woods. There's smoke coming up. Maybe there's, I don't know, you start drawing random things. Just go for it and do not think or overthink. I mean, you have to think a little bit, I think, but see, I'm overthinking right now. So don't do that. So we're gonna practice some like that. Let's do it. Okay, whatever you're thinking right now, just go. And sketch it. Don't draw what I'm drawing. Draw what you're thinking and just go and let your imagination run wild. And this is a good practice, and it would definitely be one for me, for creativity, improving your creativity and imagination, and just letting go of some of those things that we have that are stuck in our minds, like this should be like this, and this is what I should draw, and blah, blah, blah. Pushing away and canceling those voices by practicing drawing from our imaginations. There's a lot of weird stuff in our imaginations. I don't know about you, but I got some weird like dreams and things like, I'm like, is this part of me? Because it's very weird. But I think we all have that. Hopefully, let me know in the comments that I'm not alone. Okay, draw from your imagination. That is number 4. Have you ever gotten stuck on a drawing where you're kind of just maybe even like a part of the drawing, like I'm fixated on this one eye and it's like, and you just get stuck in there, and then once you finish it, you realize you did it all wrong? Well, this next tip is going to help you with that. Number 5, work on several drawings at once. Now, this is not something I typically do, but I can see the value in it. So this tip is going to help your mind to keep moving and not get into those stuck positions I was mentioning. Especially like, let's say you have multiple subjects in your drawing, like if it's still life and you have, the bowl of fruit, and then you have a picture, and then you have something else like a flower. And if you just stick to that one flower, for instance, you're going to have that problem I mentioned about getting fixated on the one item, realize like finishing it, oh, it looks great. Then overall you see that you made it too small or you made it too big. And then you ruin the piece. Working on different parts of the drawing simultaneously, getting yourself up to the same point all together is a really good practice. I would even like to venture into having completely separate drawings, working on one and then another, like kind of together, would be a really interesting practice of keeping that mind flowing, keeping the ideas flowing, keeping the movement going, and not getting stuck. I want to maintain that momentum. Number 6, I've kind of mentioned this already, but setting yourself time limits. So, we talked about this with gesture drawing, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Set yourself an actual timer that you have to draw a drawing. Like bring out a new drawing randomly and, okay, I have to draw this. Don't switch it to another drawing, like find it, okay, draw it, and you have this amount of time to do it. Set your time. You can give yourself half an hour if you want. You can give yourself 15 minutes if you want, but try different time limits. And you can try those time limits with the same drawing where you're kind of, okay, I've given myself 5 seconds to work on it. Now I'm going to take the same drawing, give myself 10 seconds on a new page so that I can reestablish all of those skills we're talking about with speed drawing, like getting the gestures in, getting those shapes in quickly, getting the overall composition in first of all, so that you don't end up having the problem of being fixated on one object in the drawing, and that object becomes so beautiful on its own, but the whole composition doesn't work. So don't find yourself in that situation. By drawing out everything kind of quickly, you're setting the proportions of everything, you're setting the composition, and if you draw it very lightly when you're doing so, you can then erase if need be. Now, I know I said we're not using an eraser, but you can use an eraser, obviously, if you need to, for something that, is a project for school or project that you're, for work or something. But one of the great things about sketching is sketch in your sketchbook and then transfer using, a window, a light table, that kind of thing. Use those tools onto the nice paper, onto your final copy piece, and do all the rough work in the sketchbook. So we're gonna, sketch in our sketchbooks till we get the right proportions and everything. And then if we need to make a final copy of it, a nice copy, maybe it's a commission piece, there is nothing wrong with taking something that you've drawn and tracing over onto a nicer page. It's not a cheat. I don't know why in my mind sometimes I think that that's some kind of cheat. But I drew the first drawing, so how is that a cheat? It's not. Use the tools that are available to you. That feels like it went way out of the focus of setting time limits. I should set a time limit for myself. You have 5 seconds to give the tip and move on to the next one. Okay, I will not do well with that. I like to talk way too much. All right, we're on to number 7. Number 7, observe and sketch. We kind of talked about this already, but observing is such an important skill and practice to implement in your daily life as you go about, as you are, actually working on a piece. Observational drawing skills will help improve your practice exponentially. Now, with observational drawing skills, you can work off of a photograph, or you can work off of in person. And I think it's great to practice both, because there might be situations where you have an opportunity to draw what you see in person, and having your practice for creating that composition in your mind be super helpful, because we have this peripheral vision. We're not just seeing on a rectangular, screen for our life. We have this beyond that. And so what do you want to keep within the box frame when you're drawing? That helps when you're practicing those observational skills. That's number 7. I want to just point out the reason I say I don't want you to use an eraser. And that is because when you're sketching, I want you to keep that momentum going. When you bring out the eraser, you can erase and redraw a line over and over and over again. And that's just not good for your time. It's not valuable, because you can just keep drawing many lines quickly, and then until it kind of formulates the right composition and the right form takes shape. So if you start erasing and contour drawing, that's not the best for speed sketching. So don't worry about, I had this teacher that called it hairy lines. But anyways, I don't think that's a technical term, but I could be wrong. Number 8, mental grid. In your mind, imagine a grid on your paper, on your painting, your canvas, whatever it is. Imagine it. You don't always have to draw a full-on grid, which you could do, but for a quick sketch, no way. That's a slow process. If you want a quick sketch, create a quick grid, either sketched out a quick grid or just mentally. So a couple things I might do is find my center by using a line from corner to corner, which will give me my center point. And I can also mark the line this way. I might section it off quickly in 4s, middle, quartered, and do that on both sides. So I have roughly an idea, and I won't draw the full line. I'll just mark it at the top and then then I kind of know where things need to be. So I have some idea of, is this down a third or a quarter? And then I can start quickly sketching in the whole composition. So that's one technique that I use very frequently when it comes to speed sketching. Number 9 is use your pencil. Your pencil is, obviously you're going to use your pencil to draw, but there's other ways you can use this as an incredible tool for drawing quickly and accurately. So maintaining the accuracy can be hard. Yeah, sure, you can draw quickly, but how do you have it accurate? So one of the ways is using your pencil. A couple different ways to use it. One is the angle of things. When you're looking at a path that's coming towards you and you're imagining that canvas frame, and then you take your pencil, and as long as you're not holding your pencil in a funky way, like try to hold it flat up and down, straight up and down. Find a match in the angle. Like for instance, with my hair, right? Like this is not matching. This is matching, right? And then I can take that and kind of see, okay, we're angling this way, slightly. It's not a huge angle like this. We're on a slight angle. Or you can do that with really anything. Like if I'm drawing my collar, and this can help even when you're getting to the detail of things. But if you're wanting to sketch things quickly and you're like, okay, what's the angle of the roof of that house? Like right now I see my neighbor's house and I'm like, okay, that angle. Okay, I can kind of see that that's a pretty steep, like this is probably more steep. This is like closer to flat. And so when I draw that line, I'm not going to draw it like this. I'm going to draw it like similar to what I see. And it can still be done quickly. You can quickly take, if there's something that's really important, like for angles, then use that technique. It works really well. The other thing is creating proportions of things, and you're doing it in a very quick way, and it doesn't have to be perfect and, perfectly sized. It's not an architecture blueprint. This is just quickly capturing details that you need. Well, let's say you want to see how big to make, like if you're looking at my face, you're like, hey, how big is the space between the eyes and between the two eyes? You could take a measurement. Now make sure you don't pull in and out like this. Make sure you just slide across on the same plane. Wherever you've set your little plane, it has to go across this way. Do not bring it forward, otherwise that will get smaller or bigger. But if you measure the eye and then you capture that measurement with your thumb, and some pencils will actually have lines on them, that's what they're for. And then you can see if it's the same size as the eye, like if you've already drawn the eye, that kind of thing. Now, we're not going to fixate on eyes when we only have a short period of time to draw. But if you're drawing like the head, and you want to make sure that you're not drawing my head like this small, and then my body like this, like too tall, compared to the size of my head, or the width versus the height, then you can take your pencil, do the little trick, be like, okay, we're like, here is the width, here. So you draw 2 lines on your paper, and then you turn it this way, and you're like, okay, top of the head comes to here, right? And then I have here, it's like 1.5. So you take that measurement, whatever you've drawn, 1.5. There's a bit of math there. It's not too complicated. If you just imagine this as your ruler that you can kind of change based on just comparing the size of other things once you've drawn one aspect of things, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. If you're unsure, message me in the comments and I'll try to explain that a bit better. Maybe I can even do a video focused on that particular concept, because it's one that's very valuable to have in your assets. Okay, are you ready for number 10? This is our final tip for improving your speed drawing. Okay, so this one is simply consistency. I don't know about you, but I often get into these kind of like, I want to create, and then I grab a sketchbook and I'm like, okay, what should I create? And then I look online, I say like ideas of what to draw, or art challenges, and I see like, you can get those monthly challenges that show you, okay, day 1, draw a dragon, day 2, draw a tree, day 4, draw this. I don't know about you, but for me, it's not super motivational to see that, like, maybe that works for you. If so, you have people are always posting those, so you have resources for that. But I think is a better practice is a focused daily practice. So yesterday I just started the 100 heads challenge. I want you to choose something where you're focusing on one subject, whether it's figure drawing, whether it's hands, noses, and you're gonna draw that daily. So I want it to be a focused daily practice, not a scatterbrained whatever. That's not consistency. Consistency is building up a practice that actually helps you improve. If you practice drawing the same thing every day, you're going to improve drawing that thing. So what is something you want to be able to draw? Is it a specific animal? Is it fruit? Is it flowers? Is there a particular flower you wish you could draw? Choose a topic maybe that you feel weak in. I kind of feel weak in portrait drawing. I want to improve on that. So that's why I've chosen the 100 Heads Challenge. Have you done this challenge before? Let me know. I'm really excited. In the future, once I finish the challenge, I will share it with you. That daily focused, such a key thing, because you're going to get better on that skill. Like if you were going to school and they just taught you one thing randomly, and then the next day they taught you another thing that didn't relate to that thing, you're not going to really learn. If you just want to have your brain kind of like practicing imagination and different ideas, then having that kind of something different every day, maybe you're practicing it in a certain like medium. Like maybe you're practicing, you want different topics, so you're just really broadening your skills of what you're drawing. So that might be helpful if you're practicing a medium that you want to improve upon. Like maybe you want to practice pen drawing. So you're just gonna draw with a pen, and that's really not easy to do effectively and well, but that's what you want to improve on. Then that's fine if you want to have different subject matter each day to kind of use, and then those 30-day kind of drawing challenge things can work really well for trying to improve a medium per se. But if you're trying to improve like your portraitures, then let's focus just on portraits and draw lots of portraits. We're gonna draw lots of them. And if you want to try different mediums as you go, that's fine too, but we're focusing on learning how to draw quickly, capturing the essence of what we see, what the object is, and you're gonna see yourself improve. You're gonna see, as you have that consistency, that daily focused practice, you're gonna see improvement happening, and it's gonna be pretty exciting. Which one of these 10 tips are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments and give me a thumbs up if you found this video helpful or valuable at all. And if you'd like to see more art how-tos and improve your art, drawing, and painting skills, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell is going to remind you when it's going to alert you when I have a new video out. So if you want to know that, then make sure you hit that bell too. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure and a delight. We'll see you next time. Bye now.